The invoice is reviewed and approved. Now it needs to reach the customer, and after that, you want to know whether it's been paid. In this video, I'll show you the complete path. Sending invoices, tracking payments, and what happens when payment doesn't come through. I open Billing, then Receivables. In the New tab, I see all invoices that have been created but not yet sent. I click on an invoice. The detail view opens on the right. Here I see the invoice number, the status, the project, the service period, and the amounts, net, VAT, and gross. For sending, I have two options. Send. The invoice is sent directly by email to the stored contact person. The payment term starts running from this moment. Download and mark as sent. You download the invoice as a PDF and send it yourself, for example by post. The payment term also starts immediately. Once the invoice is sent, the status changes from created to sent. It stays in the New tab until it's paid or overdue. Leadtime automatically logs when the invoice was sent, by whom and to whom. And if you need to send the invoice again, the resend option is always available. A quick look at the structure so you know what your customer receives. Every invoice has two parts. The cover page shows the invoice number, date, service period, customer data, the main line items with net, tax, and gross amounts, the payment term, and your bank details. And then the proof of service. Here the customer sees for each item the date, the responsible person, the ticket ID, the title, and the billed hours with individual prices. This is the transparency that professional customers expect. You can customize the logo, fonts, and texts in the settings. In the invoice detail view, you'll find the option to adjust invoice settings. Here you can choose the invoice language, then the texts, greeting, footer with payment information, closing sentence. Each of these texts can contain placeholders that are filled automatically. You can also configure the reminder settings, whether late fees are charged, the base interest rate and surcharge, and whether a reminder fee applies. These settings apply workspace-wide, but you can also override them per organization. If you want to give a long-standing customer a longer payment term, or set shorter deadlines for a difficult customer, that's possible through the organization settings. When payment arrives, I open the invoice and click Mark as paid. The invoice moves to the Paid tab. There you'll find all completed invoices with the payment date and the time span between creation and payment. If you accidentally marked an invoice as paid, you can undo it. Mark as unpaid moves it back to its previous status. If the payment deadline has passed and no payment has been received, the invoice automatically appears in the Overdue tab. I open the tab. Here I see all overdue invoices with the original due date and the number of overdue days. I click on an invoice. On the right, I see the reminder options. There are two reminder levels. For each level, I have three options: send by email, download as PDF, or mark as sent. The first reminder is a friendly payment reminder. When I send it, the send date is logged, and the second reminder level is unlocked. The second reminder is more formal and can include reminder fees and late payment interest. Leadtime calculates the late interest automatically based on the base rate, the configured surcharge, and the number of overdue days. Every step is documented, audit proof and traceable. Finally, a scenario that hopefully doesn't happen often. You need to cancel an invoice, maybe because of a calculation error or an incorrect service. In the detail view, I click Cancel. Leadtime automatically creates a cancellation invoice, a negative credit note that neutralizes the original invoice. The cancelled invoice moves to the Cancel tab. The original items are pushed back into the invoice review. You can correct them and create a new invoice. You've now seen the complete invoice process. send invoices by email or PDF, track payments and mark them as paid, automatically detect overdue invoices, and follow up with a 2-level reminder system, and if needed, cancel cleanly. In the next video, we'll look at insights, how you turn all this data into knowledge that drives your business forward.